What is up, guys? It's Young Breezy here to bring you guys a new video today. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded. I was supposed to have an upload today, or actually Monday, but this video is probably gonna go up tomorrow for Wednesday's video. And basically, as you guys see here on the screen, I have the new Dark World card. For anybody who does not know what it does, it's a new trap that they ended up getting, which kind of hyped up all the max rarity Dark Worlds. From when I had watched House of Champions video on the Market Watch, and it's no surprise to me. Dark World was a fan favorite to most people, and when they see support from their favorite deck, like me with Heroes and Dark World, they get really excited, buy them out, and this card's really good. So let's get into what the card does. It's a continuous trap. And when your opponent's monster effect is activated while you have 3 or more cards in your hand, you can target one Dark World monster on the field, return it to the hand, and if you do, the activated opponent's monster effect becomes discard one random card from your opponent's hand. Note, this card is not once per turn, so whenever a monster's effect is activated, it technically changes it. It doesn't negate it, it just changes the effect. And then this is kind of excuse to utilize the secondary effects from the Dark Worlds, which I'm going to get into. So let's go through Grapha, your big boss monster. Obviously everybody hated him in the past because all he really did was pop. Well, it's going to get even more annoying. His secondary effect, which can be utilized with Brainwashing if it is selected. If this card is discarded from your hand by your opponent's card effect, look at one random card in your opponent's hand. Then if it was a monster, you can special summon it to your side of the field, which means, I guess, really any matchup, hell, even the Dark World mirror match, even though it's really annoying to play against, you basically can special summon any Dark World monster, and then, you know, if your opponent activates another, you know, monster effect, you basically can target a Dark World monster. Note, the card does not state your, you know, Dark World monster or your opponent's if you're in a mirror match. So you can bounce, let's say, their Grapha to the hand, and you know they don't have a discard outlet set, or in their hand, you know, you basically can do that as well. Then you have, I'm not even going to pronounce it, but Dark World, it's Overlord of Dark World. This card was never really played in the standardized build, but his secondary effect is amazing. When this card is discarded from your hand to the graveyard by opponent's card effect, special summon this card from the graveyard. When this card is special summoned this way, destroy all monsters your opponent controls or spells, you know, / traps they control. So basically, he's a built-in Regeki or Heavy Storm, which is fairly amazing. I love it. It just sucks you weren't able to use him in past formats just because there weren't any cards that really allowed you know, an effect like this to go off besides the Ceruli build, which not a lot of people really ran. Then you have Lucent, which I believe it's in 2009 we got him. He wasn't a fan favorite when he got released, but he was a level 6. It was a Dark World support, so we all accepted it. His secondary effect is pretty amazing as well. It discards this card, you know, from your hand to the graveyard by opponent's card effect, special summon one fiend type monster from your deck to either side of the field. Which means if you do play Dark World Burning Abyss, somehow you can easily kind of make Dante. But as well, this is easy access to Grapha, Snow, really any of the other Dark Worlds. I really think it'd be better to get Grapha just because you really want to kind of get him out anyways. Then you have your Silver and Gold. Silva, basically, when it is discarded by your opponent's card effect, your opponent returns exactly 2 from their hand to the bottom of their deck in any order. So basically, think of Omega besides banishing it, it goes to the bottom of their deck, which eliminates, you know, them from playing the game. And what is it called? And basically, I guess the reason, you know, they play the other cards they do, such as Dark World Dealings and Drag Down, because of the fact that that's what annoyed people. The deck, you know, got rid of your opponent's favorite cards or destroyed their strategy or their combo. And with, you know, Dark World Brainwashing, Silva allows, you know, that annoyance to continue. Then you have Gold, which was another fan favorite, which was a staple. Whether you wanted to play Gold, you wanted to play Silva, it didn't really matter. His secondary effect is if this card is discarded from your hand to the graveyard by opponent's card effect, you can target up to 2 cards your opponent controls, special summon this card from the graveyard, then destroy those 2 targets. So basically, kind of the same thing like Silva, except you get to destroy 2 cards your opponent controls, whether it's backer or a monster. I think that's kind of cool. Depending on when Brainwashing does come out, I feel Dark Worlds are really going to see a lot of heading into the Link Summoning, and the fact that they don't really need an extra deck. They already have their field spell, and you know, they have, as long as you're able to get the big, you know, monsters, Grapha, Snow, or not Snow, Silva and Gold, you're basically fine. Then you have obviously Snow, your Searcher. Sadly, you can't just discard him from your hand like Gravekeeper's Commandant and get the effect off, but it has to be discarded. Snow's secondary effect, basically the same thing. If it's discarded by opponent's card effect from your hand, you know, to the graveyard, you can target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard, then add a Dark World card from your deck to your hand, then special summon that target, if any, in face-up defense, which means basically it's a free Monster Reborn for you and more fodder for Dark World Brainwashing. Then Beige, I mean, there's really nothing to really talk about with Beige, except you get his effect, special summon, nothing really great. With Brow, you basically get another plus, so basically you get a pot of greed. So, you know, if your opponent does end up randomly selecting Brow, or they have Dark World Dealings or Drag Down or whatever, you get to draw 2 more cards, which I kind of like that effect better than just drawing the 1. But it's whatever. And the last 5 cards I have here, I kind of wanted to talk about particular builds you could technically run for. Some people have actually ran and mained the viruses, which I think these will be really good against the mirror match, because of the fact that if you do have Eradicator, you most likely want to call spells, because if you do, then they can't really do anything. Then you have your Stardust build, which you can kind of play a deep build and basically run, what is it called? Advanced Draw. And you can go Stardust and then go Advanced Draw, Draw 2, basically getting Brainwashing if you haven't gotten it already, or even multiple. And then another way to recycle, you know, Snow, you can target 2 Dark World monsters in your graveyard, and then target 2 targets to your hand. So basically, with Snow, you activate this, and then you target 2 Snows or something, or 2 Graphas, whatever, and then you're able to use it. I don't know if anyone's gonna really run it, but I think since, you know, Link Summoning is going to be I just feel with Brainwashing, it'll help you and recycle everything, and then abuse Snow for the search. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If there was anything I really left out, you guys got any thoughts and opinions about the new card and ways and builds to abuse Dark Worlds, comment down below. I'm really interested. I love Dark Worlds. I've loved them since the beginning. They've been my secondary competitive deck besides Gravekeepers and I've always fell in love with Dark Worlds. I just could not play them in certain formats because of how slow the deck was, in the certain deck. So I hope you guys did enjoy the video. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. This is Young Breezy. Deuces.